gonna be great.
What
But
map are we
I think not
starting on?
only
Split.
that,
Okay.
What really enabled
Ooh,
Team Liquid to get
Team Liquid
these rounds and
lineup.
string these rounds together was
Brimstone,
actually how
Viper.
soulcas for me was shining onto this
No
map.
Viper for
the way
KRÜ.
that he was setting up Jamppi on these dashes onto the site.
I
Was
actually
perfect
kinda like-
for Team Liquid on the execution on a
I
map
kind of like
Split.
Team Liquid's
Keeping
lineup
the Brimstone
better
right now,
here.
I'm not too against having a Brimstone because right now you're thinking about the Molly pulse plants. It doesn't really happen right now on a map like Split, but it's definitely a good ability to have. Let's say if you want to zone out ropes and you want to do splits into B or vice versa into B heaven if you want to take mid control.
I don't
into
mind
A.
Team
So
Liquid's
that could
lineup here. I
definitely
kind of
happen.
like
That
it.
could
I
definitely
kind of
help
like
out into
it.
Team Liquid, but we'll
I'm
see
not
how
a
it
fan of
pans
KRÜ's
out
lineup,
now that we
really.
see KRÜ again.
The
looks like
Killjoy's
they're not
nice.
changing
I like
anything at all.
that. The
Yeah, it's good
Rays,
to see,
okay.
they're actually 90%
Omen,
win rate on this
not
map.
so
This is-
much.
Or that statistic only counts teams that they played in Latin America, but still, we'll see how things go here. Right on the attack.
Sage,
for KRÜ
Jet,
as they look to make their way towards
replaceable.
A, but soulcas already with some scouting information. It's going to spot
The
a lot
fact
of
that
this.
these
Jamppi there
teams
as
don't
well.
use
Into the
Astra
setup they
blows
go.
my
Link
mind.
with the double.
What are
And
you guys
with that
doing?
said,
Use
it's gonna be a
Astra.
tough recovery here now for KRÜ, as Liquids have plenty of time to rotate and push around the map. They've got all the information.
You're literally like, you're
And you
holding
can see
yourself
KRÜ,
back.
They're going to have to just force the issue. There's not really a good answer in this situation.
Yeah. This is just a great start, right? Look at soulcas. He actually bought 3 guided lights at the beginning, sacrificing the armor and sacrificing.
That being said, I
the,
like Team Liquid's comp better.
So
I think their comp is better than
KRÜ's. Frenzy to get the first
but they
opening
both
blood.
don't have
With
Astra,
that, to get
so
control of the
they
map,
both
but
are
it's still a
kind
big flank from
of
Screen.
losing.
So a 3-on-1, unfortunately, as KRÜ weren't watching their backs.
Oh,
Very nice.
nice shot.
I mean, if you are a someone that's only seen him in Valorant, then historically he is known as the headshot machine.
Yes.
He's known for his one taps.
They know me
whole
for my
meme,
one taps.
The whole thing.
Yes. You'll find it. You'll find it for sure. And at the same time, seeing how Scream is already landing shots.
I like how he
this
hit
with
this
the
guy in the
frenzy
head.
on the
He didn't have
mid-range
to hit that
long
guy in the
range,
head, but he did.
It's gonna be scary. That's a
I find that
literally
so
with the
funny.
frenzy that's already
He could have
hard to do it
easily
itself,
just bodied
trying to
him.
do single bullets off a
But he hit him in the
rapid-fire
head.
pistol right there, and he was able to open it up against version 1 yesterday. If he continues with this form, KRÜ, it's gonna be a very hard one for them to get.
And here in terms of objectives, we're looking to see if KRÜ can try to find a way to get a couple kills, maybe facilitate a plant of the spike to get some
Link
extra
isn't
money
confident
on
with
board.
Astra.
But,
Well, Astra's hard.
you know,
She's
when
a
you're
lot of
operating in a situation
micromanagement.
like this, and you don't really
Astra's a hard
have much
character
in
to
the way of
play.
investment.
Um,
You want those smaller goals.
So I
and
get not
you can
using
maybe work
her,
towards those
but I
4 or
feel
5
like you're
players,
basically
but you can
saying
see
I'm
that
not good enough.
Liquid have a very good setup to
That's
deal
what I
with
feel
anything
like-
this. They are
That's what I
very-
feel like
they're giving
teams
up the
that
B
don't
side
use
effectively,
Astra are
playing
saying.
retake there so that they can
Like,
have
we're
more
not good enough to
presence
use this. That's
to
what I
deal
feel
with
like.
anything in mid.
And I don't
So
like
playing
that.
retakes on both sides effectively. It's a good approach.
Yeah, they were just afraid here for this point for Team Liquid to see if KRÜ was going to already cross over into ropes. So bring that Trailblazer in there, knowing that there's no aggression coming in from KRÜ. It's still a default, and they're still in great positions. They don't have to over-rotate yet. And you see those guided lights coming out from the minimap to get info.
Well, there it is. The judge comes to play, and that's the Prime Gaming flawless in
Oh,
the bag there for
boy.
Liquid. Again, pretty much just almost, it feels like an impossible scenario if you're a KRÜ in that position. Just as you said,
Yeah.
Vansily, Liquid playing it kind of perfectly. You can't, they're not really putting a foot wrong. They're actually giving up the sites, so there would have been a possibility to rush down a site for a plant, but maybe that would have been the best possible.
Prime
But either
Gaming
way, you're into our
flawless.
first gun round.
Anybody?
Definitely. And as I was talking about that guided
Anybody?
light, it was coming out from the mini-map if you were paying attention
All
to
right,
that.
gun
end.
rounds.
So they're
They
trying
kept
to
the
loop
judge.
again.
They got their
Jamppi and
SMGs. They're not
soulcas a lot for
upgrading
Team
at
Liquid.
all.
He's looking for a guided light towards B main. No information. It's still towards mid, and that sets up Jamppi perfectly. In this round, they're just going to continue to rotate soulcas around with all this information. They catch one at the entrance of A main, but as they still try to battle for info, that's perfect right there. The wall to come up, it gets automatically sprayed down. They hear 2 sets of shots to break down the wall. So now they know they're playing extremities for KRÜ. They're playing a slow default once again, and Team Liquid, they readjust to it by playing maybe a slightly more heavy mid side with, again, soulcas, this time with Scream.
And right now, Liquid aren't really too sure what's going on. They will be getting some flashes through towards B main just to get some information. And that would've
No, dude.
detonated. I don't think
Oh,
it
this is
flashed
so
anybody,
scary.
So still no info here for Liquid.
Oh,
Correct.
don't fall into the
Contact
judge.
through Mail, and oh wow, NagZ, that's a fantastic
I feel like
shot.
Scream
Who's
is
there
the
with
worst
judge?
person to have a
That should've
judge.
been an easy one for Scream, but NagZ too quick.
He was
to
literally
KRÜ, and now
aiming
barreling into
at
this B
head
site,
level
looking
with
quite
the judge.
Effective.
He was
They've
aiming
got
at their
pretty much
foreheads
everything that they
with the
can want.
judge.
They
Not
go for dark
exactly
cover
how
as
you
well,
use
and
that
the
weapon.
plant on default, so fantastic contact play from KRÜ.
But that's okay.
Beautiful kill. That actually shambled the whole setup here for the defense. But Jamppi's on that flank. They have a lot of utility to watch at the same time. But here comes a push in from spawn side.
And looking at quite hard fought here at the moment, down to a 3 versus 1. After all said and
Well
done,
done.
Liquid fall.
That
It's a good attempt, but KRÜ, man, I'm really
They didn't buy
impressed
anything
just
good,
actually
but
set
that
one
judge was
opening.
set up in a perfect
Truly was the
position to
linchpin
get
of
so
the
many
round. Getting that
kills. They just
instant kill
walked out
screen,
into the
putting
judge,
every-
and not a
everybody
shot
pushed
was
up
even
so far.
shot.
Liquid didn't
So
have information overall to know where anybody was. So
I don't know. That was
That's
weird.
when contact plays are at their most dangerous.
Yes. And especially now that Team Liquid on that previous round were on a bonus round, I found that Kryptix maybe overextended a little bit from the default boxes just to try to catch some players off guard when you're playing a mid-range weapon with that Spectre versus Vandals and Phantoms, and also potential trade setters for KRÜ immediately on that spacing on that catwalk. It was very hard to hold.
I need
Maybe
like a
being
mini
little bit more
treadmill.
sneaky there
Just walk.
could have helped out
Just
on
walk.
Team Liquid with that rotate because they still had the guided light to come back in. This round though, Team Liquid with the gun round, they are putting a heavy aggression towards this mid side. Look how far up they're pushed up, but it's immediately getting pushed back by the paint shells of B&J. Very well done for KRÜ.
Yeah, they are reacting quite nicely. Not really giving up anything to Liquid so far.
Has Bind been played in this tournament?
Late into
Yeah,
mid.
New
They
Turn
are
played
also
it
looking after A
against
main
Shark.
as well as B main. So should Team Liquid try to push any of those positions, KRÜ will know
I
about
think
it.
someone else played it too. I don't remember though.
Trying to edge their way up middle.
My memory's bad.
Heavy defense there for Team Liquid. They have 3 players.
I've
They're
watched
actually-
so much of this
they
that
can't
my
actually
brain
go with
is-
the flash, and they're going to do just
They're all
that,
the same.
straight through the wall.
All these matches.
And they see nothing in mid. So
Dude,
now
they
they're
love
starting to
doing that.
wonder
Team
what
Liquid
is
loves
going
that.
on.
They put that wall up and they pop through it. That happens all the time.
This
Flash
wall
into
is so
B main.
strong though. The wall at the same time to see towards mid that was set up by Kryptix on that staircase, and now it could be a wall
Man,
that
they know.
pops
They
up
know
on
it's
these
A.
boxes towards the A side. But
Oh no, Link's
what an opening
down.
there from Klaus.
Scream.
Yeah, looking
Nice
really
shot.
good.
Oh,
Scream in the
nice
back of the
shot.
site.
Oh, nice
fantastic
shot.
work from Scream. And it doesn't seem like there's all that much left here in terms of firepower for KRÜ to take this site. BNJ with a nice position up in heaven, able to find Kryptix. But he is the last man standing now, BNJ.
No time.
10
Just
seconds
go for
to
it, dude.
go.
Just
The
send it.
pressure is really on in this situation. It's just not enough time for that one, and soulcas will take him down. Really nicely, I mean, you're really seeing the value of Sky, I feel like, Van
Yeah,
they got the
because
entry.
when Liquid didn't really understand what was
But-
happening, they can gamble pretty effectively because they get to send these Sky flashes.
They got the
mid,
entry, but there is
be
2
main.
more.
It's just so much information.
Yes, and you combine.
They just didn't expect the double, that's all.
Put on the top of the right
And they
side,
missed the flash, by the
market,
way. They
so
missed
that
the
allows
flash
for just, like, these
again.
quick peeks through
That's
the toxic
twice
screen,
this tournament that we've
enabled
seen
by the flashes of
people
soulcas.
try to
So
do
gain
that
back
paranoia,
control, you don't
and
have
they miss
information.
it.
You're putting bodies out. You're ready
If they
for a
hit
trade,
that
you're ready
flash,
for
they
a
probably
fight.
would have won
When
the
there's
round.
Nothing happening in
That's
there,
crazy.
It could actually now set up your anchorman towards A or B to be just ready for any type of pushes. And you saw how Scream was ready right there. So unfortunately, KRÜ, this puts them on an Hiko. Sort of a hero buy here from Mazino with the Spectre, but they're picking up the Blade Storm on that B side that could potentially help things out once they're going to go for this potential anime battle, but looks like they're falling back towards mid control once again. And you can see it, Dan, at the same time for how they're setting up for KRÜ. Because they only have that solo flash, they're going to have to group up a lot, have that slight spacing to be able to get those quick trades in there. But against utility that you currently have from soulcas, the way that he's running his abilities,
Your
it
movement's
just
stressing
allows
me out.
for,
Listen, I can't
Team Liquid
stand
not
in place.
forced to hand
It is
against
so
the
hard to
aggression
stand in
of
place.
KRÜ.
I have to move around a little bit.
Yeah,
I can't
really
just stand
like
here like this.
KRÜ's pacing as well, because
Yes.
they're setting themselves up to be able to throw in a super fast
I can't
round
do
and
it.
perhaps catch Liquid off guard a little bit later on. But they're also so far avoiding a lot of these setups from Liquid by just playing very slowly. And in that sense, that also is allowing them to sort of feel more comfortable in their
Wow.
game. And with that said, Klaus with a huge frag all the way from downtown to catch
Oh, no.
in Screams. And now KRÜ are going to collapse on
Oh.
the sides. Link able to defend from elbow. Huge defense there from Link. Able to hold backside control for the time being. soulcas now reinforcing
Nice shot.
and getting the kills as well. Liquid doing everything they need to hold on to this position. 10 seconds to try to plant this spike. There's surely not enough time here. And in fact, that's going to be a wrap. Liquid defend.
Why are you standing
Really
anyways?
fast
Because I sit
response.
too much.
I'm actually surprised that that hit actually got into a kill, especially if I think that Scream had full armor. Because for me, when I'm playing the game at that distance, that's a frustrating 145 damage with the Sheriff. So it worked out perfectly to get that first entry, and you saw as the pacing you mentioned, Dan, to get where the defense setup wasn't at 14 Liquid. KRÜ was able to go for that ropes into the A heaven, crunch into the A site, but Link from the Blade Storm that he avoided from NagZ just allowed for soulcas to move in right after and just anchor perfectly inside the site. So it looked pretty good for KRÜ at the on the get-go, but just unfortunately with sometimes the RNG that you have from the Blade Storm, it comes back and swings back in the favor of the defense.
Yeah, quick trade there towards A, and should be helpful. Trailblazers sent forward by soulcas.
Oh.
There goes.
Oh.
Oh my God! It's
Oh.
soulcas!
Oh.
My goodness gracious!
My
me.
God!
Absolutely denying everything from KRÜ. It looks perfect for them.
Remember
But
when I said Team
hitting
Liquid's
3
nothing without
insane
Scream?
shots, completely
I don't
turned on
know.
his head, and that's
I think they're trying to
destroy
tell
the
me-
round for KRÜ. Oh, it
Shroud,
really
you're
felt
an
like they hit
idiot.
Good timing there.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Damn.
think it was just maybe a missed satchel charge to get BNJ a little bit faster into the B heaven side, but the positioning from soulcas, you see it, it's right in the open. He's flying in the air, he's trying to clear out towards that left side, and soulcas, it's not only maybe on a missed satchel, it was how fast soulcas was able to react onto that satchel charge coming into that B heaven.
Why would you say that?
And that was just
I don't
an
know.
easy lineup for
Because-
the other two.
because
when,
Scream was
they're
on
just
and everybody
grouped
else was
up.
off.
And like I said, the spacing
So it
has
made
to
it
be
look
very
like
important
that
right now
was the
for
case.
KRÜ so they could actually set up better
And it's just
for,
fun, you know.
their trades
NA number
instead of
one,
having these
EU
individual
not
peaks in the end.
anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just fun.
Once again, Liquid looking good on the defense here towards A as KRÜ go in pretty quickly. We talked about that switch up of pace. They are on just Sheriff's hip though. soulcas ready with the flashes.
soulcas is pissed, dude. soulcas is pissed. He whiffed
And
that knife or
right
whatever
now,
was going on
difficult
last
spot for
time,
KRÜ. They do
and
have
now
some
he's
forward
just
positioning.
banging
They're actually gonna
headshots
force the
all
issue
day.
here, able to take control of heaven as well.
He was
In
embarrassed,
comes soulcas
and now he's
once
ready to
again.
frag.
Out go the flashes.
Look at him go.
Turning the corner. It's not going to work out for him this time.
Okay.
And KRÜ are actually holding onto some position.
I am
but
just
they
the
don't
worst.
have the
I,
flashes
like,
yet.
I
Res comes
jinx
up,
everything.
gold stuff.
Everything.
The bait works
They get
though
to
because
fall back.
Kryptix goes
I
down on
jinx
the
it all,
screen, and now
always.
Huge advantage. And there's a
I should
res
stop
coming through
talking.
from Scream as well. Oh no, into Jamppi, into the crosshair. Just sitting here ready and waiting. Dash,
Oh my.
good.
Nice.
With Scream as well to
Line
clean it
up.
up for the 3K. Oh my god, what is that? Was so back and forth.
I gotta have to hand it for Screams just to be able to throw that frost orb into the entrance of the spawn side. If it wasn't for that, again, the aggression from KRÜ looking at the spawn side early kill, you're trying to go for a close range
Nice little
frenzy
triple-
kill on
Of
the
course-
attacker side.
of course it's
And
a triple
you saw it coming. There was
headshot
gonna be a
lineup.
rotate no matter
It's not
what
triple
into that B
bodies,
site after they
all
take
headshots.
control,
Of course
forced
it
to
is.
rotate out, trying to catch him off
Of
guard.
course.
But just because of that slow orb and enables Team Liquid to get the first kill into the battle, into the trades, Scream is able to rotate back even faster. They read him like a book right after that, and that's an easy lineup when you're playing against less firepower from KRÜ's side. Now, though, at least, unfortunate for this spray to put Klaus down to 6 HP, but they do have a lockdown to work with where it could have maybe helped towards his A side in the end. I think, again, you're just trying to waste this utility on mid side before. You see it or not, aggressing that fast, if they could actually get a couple of flashes out from soulcas and end back towards A later, it could be a very strong ult for them. Or that, or that.
They didn't
Huge
expect that.
punish.
That was a
I
good,
love to see
good
that.
little change up.
You can hear.
Now, what can they do
soulcas
off of that
jump,
pick?
peeking
They got to
that
pick
angle,
male.
And NagZ picks the perfect timing. Great mechanics there on that one end.
They probably should
What do you do
regain
with the
some
5v4?
control.
That's, that's the question. You're on the attack. It's such a strong position to be in.
Main, either A main
It's
or B
passive on
main
A
before
side,
they
right?
do
They
anything,
kinda wanna give that up,
because
play for that retake, so
I
they
feel like it's
still
kind
have
of
position
going in
Scream
blind
up
is
this
kind of
off angle
dangerous,
on
right?
B, so
Not having
he's gonna
control.
try to battle it up against NagZ, and that's actually a really good position against that up.
They're doing it.
Nice off angle here from Scream.
The lads are doing
You
it.
get the one.
Here they go.
Fall back. Ooh, dropping down.
Yeet.
It's scary. Jamppi goes
gonna
down.
work.
It's up to Scream now to hold
It's
on
gonna
to
work.
this position by himself.
It's gonna
Klaus will
work.
Take him out.
They don't need
Not too much
control.
love here on these engagements for
Just
Liquid,
run out.
but for
I love
KRÜ,
it.
They've got the bomb site. They have the bomb,
Hello.
and there's only two
Hi.
players from
Okay,
Liquid
I'm
to
sorry.
do
That's too
anything
loud.
here, and they
I'm so
want
sorry.
nothing to do with it.
Hello.
And you can't blame them.
That's for sure. I think just the jump bait switch
I hate
there,
standing.
just for getting the entry for KRÜ was actually quite perfect. When again, you don't have that much utility in terms of flashes to try to take over the site. You got to throw the bodies in, unfortunately, and that's how it is. And they played it perfectly now this time for KRÜ in
Way
terms of
too
trying
dang.
to bait out their teammates to be able to at least get an opener. And Scream, you saw that Frost Orb. He was trying to put it there towards that B heaven side just to slow things a bit. It just bounced off, unfortunately, off that
I don't have to
balcony.
pee, I'm just
and
standing.
that catches
That's all.
Jamppi in an awkward position where he got shut down. So it's not too bad so far for KRÜ. They add a second round onto the board. It's going to be a Prime Gaming flawless at the same time too, or unless it was a res going on at the same time. I kind of probably missed it. But at a 6-2 right now, it's not too bad to finally warm up here on this first half, especially with that shot.
Yeah, really awesome to see that. And it's just great too, because it shows a degree of flexibility within a team like KRÜ where they can spot small leaks and like be on the fly, be like, okay, let's punish this and actually create a round out of it. And that's a much needed round too. 2-6, still plenty of rounds here to try to make this a more respectable scoreline against Team Liquid, who have been very dominant so far. As we go into this next buy round, we'll see the flashes coming through once again to B main. KRÜ will take control and be over B main though, regardless.
And you see the walls that are set up right now on the defense for Kryptix. It's actually not going all
that
the way
wall's
towards
pretty
the
nice.
entrances.
That's
because
like
he
40.
wants
That's
to
like
leave it
40
clear
seconds of
so that
safe
Jamppi
mid.
can opt towards his A ramp.
That's a lot of confident info.
Speaking
Knowing
of
you have
Jamppi,
that much time of safe mid is nice.
Repositioning, surely not going to peek into this one. Jamppi looks so poised for this. And of course he connects it. And the problem with that one is now they're down to 3 players. They've got no map control. We're getting the Trailblazer thrown through to B main. Once again, soulcas on that Sky, able to get so much information.
Oh,
and also
wow.
Andy with the headshots as well.
Wow.
Always very nice. And now it's just 2 left here for KRÜ.
This is really, really, like, I don't know what KRÜ's doing here.
To confirm
They
there's at least
walked
another
out
player
A
going there, because after that first kill, like you said,
with
Dan,
no
map
utility,
control, the Trailblazer that came out, you're just
got off
knowing that
twice,
KRÜ is
and
going
then
for
walked
a
out
desperate,
B,
maybe last second hit with the 3 players remaining
no
on
utility,
that B side. But
got
when you lose a
headshot.
fight like that, off angle, out in the open for soulcas.
I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to surprise. They were trying to surprise the A player by double walking through and getting a position with their op. But that's so risky, man. I feel like why not just use a little piece of utility to really, really set that offer up, rather than just walking out and trying to set the offer up with nothing.
At the same time for the
Throwing a
side.
flash.
They have the Seekers ready.
Oh wait, you don't have a flash.
Ult, and they're also
That
away
sucks.
from Jamppi, potentially with an op kill to bring out a Blade Storm. So they're going to have to try to use it potentially soon into the next round here for KRÜ.
I believe in KRÜ. I believe.
Oh yeah.
It is definitely very tough though against an operator when you have just only the paranoia for flashes.
Clean.
I loved like the slow motion voices.
Yeah. It's one of those nice ones, but yeah, this time up I think is
Omen doesn't really count.
It's a good call for it so far.
Omen's too specific.
Yeah, the thing that's
you need a more general flash than Omen. Omen is like I know exactly what I want to flash.
Some really huge clutch moments.
And this is why.
For example,
other characters like Sky are I'm gonna flash this. And figure out if someone's there. And if they are there, they're not going to be there after the flash, right?
If that's not a headshot,
all the other flash characters, like
it takes a few more bullets to do it.
Sky,
Phoenix, and they lose the entire
Yoru,
and there's this post plant that now can be played by
Breach.
KRÜ. So just some of these like moments have been so phenomenal, and the timings from Liquid.
What is that? Oh,
looking very confident so far, and you can see.
I thought that was a Karambit. He was flipping.
There.
Looked like he was flipping a Karambit.
Center, and there with the manager, his good friend Eamon. I spent a lot of time with those guys. They are really fun to hang out with, and it's also been cool to see the storylines in this game. I know a bit more about those two than some others, but Sliggy, for those who don't know, is
Reyna's okay for that, I guess.
Renowned for really changing the game and observing in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and maybe that's a story for another time. As we're back into this one.
You know what?
Anyway, Sky is just the best flash. Like really, Sky and Breach are just the best. When it comes to flashes, Sky and Breach just own, and they'll get you set up anywhere you want.
Something different to be to have the mind to do the things that he was doing. But into the action we go here, and it's a huge Huge aggression here on A main, trying to fight for this early control.
Oh my
Scream
God,
running
hello?
backwards and spraying,
What
finding
video
the
game
frags. Two down
are
now
we
for KRÜ.
watching?
Right at the offset of this round.
Is this Valorant or is this Roblox?
They read that perfectly.
Hello?
It really did. This looks very desperate now, Vansily.
Yeah, I mean, you can try anything you want. So
That
far
man
for
did not
KRÜ,
stop
breaking that wall,
moving.
getting the flash out at the same time. Like the timeout was like, hey, we just have to try to explode. They were trying to throw the paranoia into A main, and if they could break that wall for KRÜ and catch them off guard, perfect. But then a self wall that comes out from Scream, you have a flash that comes out for soulcas that was already posted there, by the way, when it's always lurking towards that mid side. They were just ready for it. And with that, I feel that because of this action that happened in the beginning, Klaus was still keeping his Killjoy ult. And I'm not against that at the same time, too, because if they actually
running
did make it
backwards
into the A site,
one,
they could put
two.
one of those very powerful ults at the bottom of that rafter by that flower pot that covers the whole site right now, including forcing to push your opponents back all the way into their spawn. So I think the idea was there just to try to overwhelm Team Liquid. But just look at the amount of utility. They even had a Viper.
I think
Cloud that was
Scream
ready
actually
there,
has a 100% headshot right now.
Running into the site.
I swear.
Like
I don't think I've seen a body shot from him. I literally think he has a 100% headshot rating in this match. I swear.
Really close range
I swear.
position.
Oh my.
Gets the kill, dashes out, and it is problematic here for KRÜ because what they're doing now is completely known to Liquid, and you can see that they've got all the utility in place to just prevent this push completely, just being stopped dead. And the push from soulcas through A main now has.
When it calculates headshot percentage, does that mean every bullet? Like, does that mean? Does that mean if I hit somebody in the body, it lowers my headshot rating?
Pretty hard if they rotate.
Or does it just mean on final kill? Like final kill being a headshot or a body, or what? I'm just curious how that's calculated.
Idea, though, because now soulcas is pushed all the way out. He can't use any of the other guided lights to get information for the team. So they have to default a bit, but they also have to keep guessing of where KRÜ could be. So for KRÜ right now to group up and try to go back towards this A side.
Every bullet hit.
It looks like there's a lot of numbers here towards this A side.
So then he's definitely not 100, but he's definitely really high.
3 versus 1 when they come in.
He's up there.
Yeah, they did a dark cover there as well towards Male, which cut off vision for Liquid towards B. So right now it could be A or B as far as Liquid are concerned. Really smart stuff from KRÜ. Jamppi will whip that one. That will give an opportunity here now for KRÜ as they make their way forward. Bladestorm comes out from Jamppi as well.
Jamppi with the knives.
Of the essence here. They can't afford for anything to go wrong here, but everything is going wrong. Kryptix with a double, and it might just get worse a bit. No, KRÜ able to try to convert this one here with a plant off of the back of those two kills from B&J. Out comes the showstopper.
They have a Sage res here, which is nice.
Liquid will have to wait surely, and there's that res.
And then if Liquid can get them off spawn, there it is. Liquid's getting them off spawn so that they can get a res in spawn.
I don't think he was
JK Scream is
and now we get the
not playing for the res.
So many ults, just the dive from Link.
Bro, they're on 2 different pages, man. Link is going for the
goodness, and now Liquid.
Link is going for the ult, and then the other two are playing away from the ult.
Oh no!
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. 100% headshot rating. It doesn't even matter.
Scream has time off the back of those 2 kills. This guy is always reliable for Liquid. Definitely the one you want last alive in the clutch.
And I think it made it seem weird to actually place that lockdown right in the middle of elbow, but at the same time, I'm not against it. Maybe using that as a body shield just in case when they're actually trying to rotate back for Team Liquid to allow there just to get that first kill because Link got picked off.
Sit down, Shroud. I am standing this whole match. I made a promise to myself. I will stand for this whole match. Okay?
Shut machine. Easy kills like that right now. It wasn't perfect in the end on that 2 versus 1. It could have been a little bit better, but here comes another explosion into the A site.
There goes KRÜ straight in there. Link at the back of the site looking to defend.
Oh my God.
Absolutely
all of Team Liquid right now is on. It's over. I'm sorry, man. It's over. KRÜ doesn't stand a chance.
To get KRÜ into
they're
the
just
site,
all
they're still
on.
Stuck here. They've only got A main and a ramp control. That's all they have. As they were to take down one, but Scream to finish off the rest.
Headshots. All day.
Liquid for the first map in this best of 3. And he's 17 for 5. He is scary.
I want to see Sentinels versus Liquid in the finals.
The puns are coming.
That's what I want to see.
But that said,
that's what I want to see. Scream versus 10.
Things have been right now for Team Liquid on this defender side. If it's not also for
Jamppi
sites,
versus
but just the
Shazzy.
sheer ability to prevent KRÜ from pushing even further into the sites, right? Getting screen control, even if it's an ult that you don't get that often, to split out that positioning from KRÜ at that screen side from Link, and also having one player force his hand towards you, and you just post up, put your gun out and take him down. It's just been very, very good of how things have been utilized in terms of Team Liquid on that defender side. But now the tides have turned. We'll see what happens now for KRÜ. Can they turn it around? And this Viper wall is already a great start for a fake.
Straight into spawn. The Jamppi.
He's not even. They're not even going B.
Look at this. It's an open site.
They're not even
Indeed,
going
walk
B.
into A here, coming through from.
That was kind of a sick. That was a sick like.
I don't know. There's anyone to stop.
That's
them.
usually what they do on their
their
regular rounds. You know.
Well, he's gonna go down, but it did waste a lot of time. So there is that. Scream, the frenzy.
Ooh, this angle's scary.
And
flash.
Link to kind of body block
No.
this one and take those first engagements. Link and Scream doing the damage there to hold on to aim ramp control. Still, though, KRÜ in with a chance here. The time is starting to tick away pretty quickly.
Ever just lose balance?
Here they go, making their way forward now from heaven. Just jumping straight onto the defuse.
Yo.
Is it going to be a stick here? Now
Dude.
comes off of it.
Hello?
Soulcas
Kryptix just saved that round. Those shots were insane.
Liquid able to hold on to that one. I like the little fake at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Kryptix just saved that pistol round.
Get off the spike. You still have a bit of time there. Putting it halfway. You heard already a couple of right clicks that came out from Kryptix, so technically he didn't have that much left in terms of bullets in his clip.
Look at this guy upper.
soulcas with the rotation from Sewers.
Are you serious?
From A-Ramp, sorry, on top of that.
Amazing.
Just made things very difficult on that 2v1 for the defuse from NagZ. But yeah, it was a great
soulcas redemption arc.
You can see that they continue this wall up towards that B side.
Like whiffs happen.
So they're already starting
Mistakes happen.
Conditioning towards this
all that bullshit, it happens, man.
Because they're already leading 11-2.
You can meme about it, you can have some fun with it, it's okay.
To the B site, then you might have nothing left here for KRÜ because you're forcing into this
Whatever.
round. You might not have that much going into map point should you lose this one here.
It happens. Dude, how do people stand for a living?
Also on the judge.
Here.
Looking to barrel into this A site.
I think it's only so hard because I'm tired.
These close positions.
I'm going to blame World of Warcraft.
Liquid now exploding onto the site. And KRÜ have sort of given up the site, which is fine. Play the retake game. The question is, can Liquid get good post-plant positions? That's the real battle for Liquid now. You can see Scream's trying to work a main, but it doesn't really have the ability to do so. Falls back off of that one. That's good news for KRÜ. soulcas will take down Mazino, though. Good punish from Klaus. But again, Liquid very constricted on the site here. Not many places for them to stand as KRÜ comes in to try to trade these kills. Jamppi still with that judge playing the close positions around elbow. That's going to be very difficult to deal with. In comes Klaus, and Jamppi will reveal himself with that judge. And indeed, it doesn't seem like they have any answer to that. Liquid hold on to the site.
Team Liquid is based. They're over it, man. They're over it. They're
definitely
going to ride the lowers out.
They're
just going to ride it out.
Just playing close range with that judge, good enough, and even on top of that, Kryptix
make it to the finals really quick.
Snake bite into a Viper Cloud.
Go play Sentinels,
so that it's just very difficult for the for the defenders to come back from screen side and try to retake the site. So map point already, it's been not necessarily lackluster for KRÜ. I just think that Team Liquid are doing a very good job reading into KRÜ, but also controlling the pace. Something that KRÜ was able to do versus Sharks before. And they're still trying to find their footing, unfortunately, on their map pick.
Yeah, using that wall to get that B main control straight away, but I don't know how much that's going to help them. It does give them the information.
I'm trying to find different ways to do 3.
Liquid just walking up into a ramp control at the moment. Slowly but surely.
Are you drunk?
Rotating over towards A now.
No, I'm tired. Okay.
NagZ it's going to spot.
So I guess in a way I am drunk.
Guardian is in hand. Oh, in the ice orb though. Mazino able to defend at least against Jamppi. That's a big win early on. Remove the jets, and they have site control. So Liquid aren't in the best position ever right now. KRÜ actually have sort of rotated in time, and Liquid, it's going to be tough for them to push forward. But with that said, Scream able to take down Mazino might make things somewhat easier. B&J with this judge. Ooh, Kryptix. He's going to take that as the cue to go forward, and that position's been given up now. Oh, BNJ, that's so close, isn't it?
30 seconds left.
I was actually surprised with that one too, doing a lot of audio calls, but here's a push towards spawn side. Delzik has to come up huge.
And soulcas will take down
Dude, go B.
NagZ with the Guardian is
go
going to be tough to
B.
hold off a lot of players at once with that one. Unable to get almost anything with
You think they would have made that run?
10 seconds
If they, you see where the sage wall went up right here?
On the ground.
The sage wall right here. If they went up,
in a position to
did they just lose? Yeah.
No HP. The classic has to come out.
If they decided to go B right here where the sage wall went up at around 20 seconds, would they have made it? A 20-second run from the start of upper. I think they would have. Knife out the whole way. You'd get there with like 5 seconds left. Yeah, I think so.
Own region, right? When I was looking back at the stats of how they played in stage 2, qualifying into here, it's still an 8-1. But you're playing against Team Liquid that they themselves have been unstoppable on this very map until they had to face off against version 1. And although for Team Liquid, we talk about outdated compositions for KRÜ, it's not necessarily outdated for Team Liquid, but they're still putting a lot of good use on to Link with this Omen. So to set up right now a Jet with an Omen with a heavy execute on the A site, it can actually still work with these two teams. It's just you're getting a little bit less now that Team Liquid also has Scream on the Phoenix to add a little bit more flash assist into these heavy hits. So he was definitely the player to look out for in the first map. For KRÜ, they have to look out for a way to stop him from building up these run it backs for these heavy hits for Team Liquid on this attack.
Yeah, Phoenix, really great Asian on Ascent. We'll talk more about that as we now go into the pistol. Round 1, map 2 between Team Liquid and KRÜ. Team Liquid starting off on the attack this time. And a drone will spot a couple players in mid, actually, as Liquid make their way up catwalk.
Heavy presence, Dan. They're looking for a lot of stuff here towards this mid side with the utility. And just on the A side, they're playing the more passive play possible, the retake. But Jamppi already cancels the whole kit from Killjoy of Klaus on A.
Yeah, that's a great pickup and a frustrating moment for KRÜ. As you say, Klaus would have been quite useful in delaying things. Liquid will be set up on the side. It is a pistol round, so
yeah,
anything can happen here still. We've got the Paranoia available for Delzik as well on this retake. Oh, Jamppi, nice timing.
I just got my food. I wanted. Why is this match starting so quick? I wanted to eat my food.
Small maneuvers here.
I guess I'm gonna have to eat my food in front of you guys. Like it's that simple. I'm gonna have to eat my food in front of you guys.
That
I
one
want to take a break.
Well.
Chill, eat my food at the dining table like a normal person.
Coming through with a cloud burst, and Scream goes straight into it. Out he goes to try to see if he can find any of these opponents who are coming onto the site now. KRÜ trying to get something going here, but it is simply too much to deal with as Liquid take it home for round 1. They of course already have map 1.
Hey, they took map 1 home too. You're pretty much halfway there, Dan, so it's okay. but I gotta say, Jamppi, you talked about it before too in our pregame or getting into the series. It's very important on how you could basically stop Team Liquid of how good they could be with their timings. And that timing for Jamppi, just a dash into that tree site to catch Klaus off guard, get into heaven to catch out the rotation, even an off angle on the third at the bottom of the catwalk for the post plant for Team Liquid. He's going to be one guy that could mess you up definitely on these timings and maybe even cancel any type of kit you're trying to do.
Well, that aggression has been completely dealt with. Not too much left in the tank here on this eco round for KRÜ. Just a couple pistols.
I think there was a Paranoia invested at the same time too, right, from Delzik, so they were trying to go for this type of like smoke entrance. Very old school at the same time too, but sometimes when you try to play these old school plays and it's been a while since it's been used, it can catch your opponents off guard. Just unfortunately, you're playing against Jamppi's Judge, who adds up another triple.
It is an amusing point actually, like the fact that you can say old school setup when the game's been out only a year. It just really speaks to how quickly the meta moves in Valorant compared to other games. The amount of like metas that we have had already is just kind of astounding.
just on the stage itself right now, right? As the meta evolves, but it's still very semi-different from region to region. So it's still very interesting. It's still very fun to watch how this all unravels.
Sorry, chat. I wanted to
Masters
eat my
2
food, but I didn't have time.
stage and see that how the debate is going to finish. Can you actually confirm that it's still going to be a European setup that's going to win it all, or a North American that's going to win it all, or even Neutron now?
NA number
with
one.
Korea's meta, if that's going to be the one that's going to win
We're
it
the
all.
best.
And I even feel that after this tournament,
In the world.
that conversation is still not going to end until we even reach Masters 3.
Definitely. I look forward to it. And we're going to be in our first buy round here. That said, it is a bonus from Liquid. You can see him. In fact, the Link is still on a ghost even.
Very confident at this point right now with their bonus. So, I mean, he's going to be the one carrying the spike at the same time. You see the L drone working.
This dude has a ghost.
But right now, with Jamppi only having a judge and they have these specters, I think it's just to create noise, create a diversion.
Link better be the first man in.
To the close range battles, maybe towards that pizza close range, but then fall back on Catwalk. We'll see what happens then here for Team Liquid, as it seems as though Catwalk is going to be the play.
You know, I like what KRÜ are doing. They're playing a retake setup on A. Just they want to maintain tree control, as that you can't really give this up and have a strong retake. So as long as you keep that, if the opponents take the A site, it's okay, because they'll only have the A site and A main to work from. So it's one of the reasons why teams try to put a lot of emphasis on at least holding a tree. And right now you can see Liquid, there's lots of, or rather, sorry, KRÜ, there's lots of movement. They're not entirely sure what's going on. Liquid are
Not seeing enough movement.
A lot of movement.
They had to recon at the beginning too to force them back from Team Liquid onto KRÜ at the back of tree with the smoke. So very good to get into the site. We're playing the retake now for KRÜ.
There we go. There's that Phoenix wall. Lots of good applications for that on this map. Spike planted on the A site here for Team Liquid. Again, working with a judge, a few specters, and a ghost. So it'll be a huge round for them to win if they're able to do so. That's a great first pickup there for KRÜ. That's Jamppi down. That's the Blaze Storm gone as well.
Last second. Wait as long as you can, soulcas.
soulcas ready with that recon darts.
Do it.
In
Do it.
goes the
Shoot it.
paranoia as KRÜ try to charge this A site down. Link's actually made his way back through the smoke there, near the side of the door, and could have a nice little flank timing coming in here. Deals with Mazino, and that's going to cause problems right now because time is of the essence here. Link still creating a delay, still in this position. They have to stick it. I don't know if there's actually time for this one. It's going to be a close defuse hit coming through for KRÜ, and they're going to make it work.
Wow.
Down to the last seconds, but it is a KRÜ round.
And that all came down to if KRÜ actually were losing a couple of more 1v1 inside the A side, it would have definitely been
make Liquid earn it.
For him to
make them earn it.
What, 2 or 3 defenders coming towards that doorway side through his own door cover.
That's all I asked.
2 cloud bursts set down by NagZ on that rotation was a very scary task there. Actually, I was clenching if I was a fan from.
I got a lot of water bottles.
Because at that point, that
Don't judge
that
me.
he had,
a lot of water has been.
Was actually quite huge, but thankfully he got taken down. So it looks like we do have a pause coming in right now. Not sure if it's going to be a timeout right away, but at the same time, it's a good way to calm things a little bit because, like we just mentioned here, Dan, it was a bonus round for Team Liquid. Link only had a ghost. Jamppi had a judge and blade storms, and they almost still won that round to a 2v1. So they did hurt the economy of KRÜ a lot here. NagZ's going to have to play with a judge, and we'll see what they'll have for the rest of the round.
Yeah, I completely agree. It will be quite difficult. Lots of pressure on KRÜ to convert this next buy round, as they are, economically speaking, really in a pretty desperate place. No reserves available. Will be on an eco, I believe, if they full buy and lose. Liquid definitely with the money control here.
Perfect time. It's the tech boss. I got a lot of water bottles. Here we go.
The question though is that, you know, what do KRÜ want to do against Liquid? Because I'm sure they've done some studying. There's certainly plenty of VODs available.
Yeah, no,
to see what Team Liquid's tendencies are like when they're playing the attack. Because if you're KRÜ, you may want to play aggressively on A main. If you have setups for that, maybe you want to take B main control. There's lots of different approaches you can have on a map like Ascent. Unlike Split, where it's much more, it feels much more limited.
17.
I think it starts off pretty well of how they counter out how Team Liquid wants to take mid control in the beginning, because one of the
20.
main defaults that you see, not just for Team Liquid, but having a Sova in general on Ascent, is that you throw an Allen drone right off the get-go onto the mid side. So B&J playing towards market, and as
don't forget the Taco Bell.
Side, for him to throw an Allen drone back is a great way to counter.
And more?
But Team Liquid, they like to go for these
more on the
hits
floor
on the A side. They like to go for splits at the A side too, just enabling the recon
and
the split from Jamppi combo into this tree side.
So bad. So
to try to fight back on that area, they have the numbers advantage going on there too. So the setup is actually not so bad. It's only 2-1 so far. And they've also won here into the bonus round that Team Liquid had. So I think they're still on a good spot, at least to kick off this game.
I like what KRÜ did here at the opening. I saw on B main use the dark cover as well. That prevented Liquid from taking control there, and Liquid instead pressured mid. So in that sense, you know, KRÜ have a fairly good.
Look at that, we're clean. Just like that.
Right now.
Snap your fingers.
And a timely
cleaned up
dark cover comes through to.
Just like that.
Well. So again, KRÜ know exactly what's going on. Scream pops to run it back. There goes the curveball through the dark cover. Oh, can't quite find the flag though. That was close. B&J survives. Liquid continue the press onto the A site. And that's the spike now planted here for Liquid. But again, it's this game of post-plant positioning. Kryptix will delay things with the nano swarms. And they surely know, KRÜ. They surely know about Scream. And indeed, they'll deal with Scream before soulcas can do anything about it. soulcas, though, through the smoke, able to find one. The trades are coming through, though. KRÜ looking pretty good on this retake. Time is a problem. We do get that lockdown coming in as well. That's going to send Link back further, deeper into A main. The TP comes through, and KRÜ are going to take him down to get the defuse in the bag. Beautiful retake. In fact, from the beginning of the round,
get a reusable water bottle. I know, man. I know. Well. I have one.
Exactly. So sometimes you see that team with the heavy hits.
It's hard to use.
Sometimes even throw the
very hard to use
from the A-man instead. But to
I try.
This way, how did they set it up? You had a turret
become
from the defender side from Klaus all the way from the A side,
dehydrated.
An alarm bot with a
and then I go back to my shitty habits. I know, man. I know. It's challenging. I try, and then I fail. I try and I fail. I try and I fail. That's my whole life, okay?
So, as we just mentioned here, Dan, they're actually reading this game quite well for KRÜ. The firepower is starting to come up at the same time. It's starting to shine a little bit more here for KRÜ from NagZ, more specifically at the same time too. And now we'll see if KRÜ could continue a reign on the defender side, as Team Liquid seems to go back on another force buy. So they have a couple of Spectres, rifles.
I got him. No, but for real though, I try and I fail every time. It's really hard.
Taken away.
And once again, you know, KRÜ have a pretty good feel of the map here, getting that early B main control. Liquid going for those hits. You know, you're talking about them favoring set pieces on this A side. We're going to see one of those. Klaus getting some damage in before having to fall back. Link on backside with the use of the Omen ult TP. And once again, you know, Liquid are going to get the A site, but the question is, can they hold it? There is no lockdown here for Klaus.
Trust me, I'll try again. I always do. I always give it a shot. I always try.
The amount of pressure on Liquid
one day it'll stick.
Is pretty huge. Oh, I love the move from NagZ as well. NagZ.
But I try.
Rotate back around.
I promise you, I try.
Liquid have to worry about the flank.
Oh, yeah.
But he's able to reinforce this main push. And there it is, the swing onto the site. Beautiful stuff coming through here from KRÜ on this retake. Got to get all the kills, though. One player still left.
What is going on?
He has the Hunter's Fury. Is he going to pop it? Oh, Mazino's just sticking it. He is just sticking it. No fear at all.
Oh my God.
What the hell just happened?
It was so close too. I mean,
that was actually an amazing, and I mean amazing recon dart. That was positioned. That recon dart was positioned in such a way where his teammate, the support player there, couldn't break it because he put it behind the generator. But it was behind the generator just enough to hide from its player and reveal the person. That was amazing. That was a pivotal player. I know the play, like, it didn't work out the way he wanted, but that recon dart was incredible.
Just behind to just mow down TL on that retake. So very well done. Forces now Team Liquid on a half buy at this point. You have a hero buy from Soul. Well, actually, soulcas saved that weapon from that previous round, so he's going to maintain that Vandal. The rest of them are still working.
Yo, that's a good idea.
Vandal, though, with the Sheriff's Inspector.
Somebody said get a bunch of reusable water bottles, fill them up, and then put them in a fridge next to me. And it's kind of the same thing. That's a good idea. I'm going to try that. I like that. That would work.
Doing a lot of damage here. They're looking very good.
That's a really good idea.
Has to deliver from backside from Boathouse. Jamppi with the trade, though. Leaves it to Mazino here for KRÜ to save the day.
That's a really good idea. I've never thought of that.
Huge. Can he defend, though?
I'm going to try that.
Scary stuff. Hunter's
That will
Fury
actually work.
comes in
That
from
would work, I
B&J,
think.
And it's just one player left. Kryptix creeps up the side, straight into B&J's crosshair. KRÜ saved the day there. That was a close one, though.
Yeah, and even thanks to that, because of the res that came out, it kind of kept Team Liquid in a space of like, oh crap, should we plant? Should we try to go for a fight? They tried to go for the fight instead, and because you have also the Hunter's Fury ready, that just
Jordan has a water dispenser near his PC.
Versus 2 a little bit better there for KRÜ.
Oh, like one of those big gallon.
Like you said, Dan, forcing out
the
the
big,
was nice because you said it was pretty good. Why? Because
125
there. So they forced out a lockdown,
gallon,
got a couple of kills. They're forcing a lot of weapons being bought back.
750
for
mil
Esports into this round. So this could potentially break the bank for KRÜ.
1,000 liters.
Later rounds, maybe in
the jugs.
1 or 2 more rounds.
I don't know how big they are, dude.
And here we go, just looking for that A main control here on Team Liquid this time, going quite heavy into this one.
Yeah.
And we've got Mazino playing the A side. He's mostly been playing B so far, so this is a switch up. There goes the wall as well to slow things down, and it's very different looking rounds here from both teams. In goes Scream with the run it back, popped immediately. There's the dash into the cloud burst from Jamppi.
I swear, you guys think I'm stupid.
And he goes down. That's a huge kill from KRÜ.
Or, you know I'm stupid, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows anymore?
The choke point. And at this point, they've been completely routed. I don't know what's left for them to do on this A site.
Yeah, you got to save now, I think, at this point. A 4 versus 2. I mean, you still have 40 seconds. If you're able to punish KRÜ that wants to overextend, they could maybe turn the round over for Team Liquid. But with that, I don't think it's going to happen. You already see here soulcas heading back towards the attacker spawn. Actually, with the Shrouded step that comes back towards the A main, they could maybe meet up. But like you said, Dan, I feel that they read that perfectly for KRÜ Esports. This was a typical set play for Team Liquid.
Wait, did they clean up their chat?
It was the L drone coming out.
They cleaned up their chat. It used to be awful. I think they actually have moderators now.
And that blaze wall that comes out from Scream, it's always going out towards that right side, so he can try to create like a little wall of surprise, a curveball he could throw, or just try to go for a dry peek from his blaze wall into Heaven's side. And the position was just perfect for KRÜ to cancel all of that and nullify any type of like, look at the X's. They didn't even cross past the entrance of the A site here for Team Liquid, so this was perfectly played.
Did you dye your hair?
Yeah,
I did.
It looks really nice, but...
Wow, are you going to tell me it looks like shit, like everyone else?
Good. It was so good for KRÜ.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's just winning those opening battles against the entry fraggers is just such an impactful moment for KRÜ. And also just like the fact that they had Mazino playing A also. Switching up where Mazino's playing with the Sage has been pretty cool. And Mazino has been combining with Delzik in the early round to go for these slow orb plus dark cover combos. Pretty cheap combo to gain full control of either B main or A main. So that's what's been happening in many of these rounds. This is actually, these are one of the reasons, this might be one of the main reasons why KRÜ has had such a good read on Liquid's pace and the flow of the round, because they're getting that early control bit. I don't think a single time it's been contested, really. So if that continues, KRÜ are certainly going to remain in the driving seat of this one.
And I mean, continue it that way for sure. I think they're starting to build that confidence at the same time too. And we've seen these matches.
I want you guys to be truthful and honest with me.
You're like, okay, head-to-head region, Team Liquid versus KRÜ,
okay,
Fnatic versus X10. Technically, it should be blowouts on paper.
Press
but
1.
Everybody's being underestimated so far.
If
so
you wipe your mouth
bounce back so well and so
with your clothes
into the beginning of the second half. Or
0 if you don't, and you actually get like
you want to continue to build up on
a piece of paper,
and Team Liquid, I think at
napkin.
This point,
I mean,
I know we have a
to whatever tissue. I don't know.
Trying to figure out what they want to do with this buy here, Dan. But there's been a lot of just forced buys every single time right now for Team Liquid, where I feel that we really didn't have a full buy, or I guess, with the exception of the previous round where they got absolutely thrashed. But I feel that Team Liquid has
that's a lot of zeros. You guys are liars.
This is the perfect way to call that.
You guys are liars.
From Sliggy, so they could actually
that is what clothing is for.
And just reset,
to get dirty,
in terms of,
to clean
their strategy
again.
KRÜ, and even the momentum, try to bring that back in their favor.
Indeed. There goes the drone.
You guys are talking about me and my waist?
Very quick forward.
How about your waist?
Mazino again,
I'm so stupid.
On map, you don't
What's
ever
wrong
know
with me?
where he's going to be playing from if you're Liquid.
The shit I say sometimes.
In mid, slowing things down. And B&J, meantime, with that Odin pressuring B main instead. So that's another kind of difference to how this defense is evolving for KRÜ. And once again, Liquid going back to Old Faithful. It's that A-bomb site.
And again, I think this is read perfectly. The round that they went towards the B side, Klaus had his utility towards the B side as well.
What if I just use my hand? That works too. You can just do this.
Is the IGL right now for,
but then what do you do with your hand? If you, let's say you have a bunch of crust and jam and mayonnaise and flavor all over your lips and mouth, and you use your hand and now it's all on your hand, what do you do with your hand? You wipe it on your clothes.
It's going to be with that wall from Phoenix, from Scream, to make it happen.
There it is.
There's the curveball through that wall, showing the value of Phoenix here. NagZ repositioning. And this is difficult here for Liquid. They're fairly spread out. They may be isolated from one another here. Scream is on site with Link. soulcas from A main has Hunter's Fury. So there's actually a lot to play with here.
Yeah.
For Liquids.
Ooh, solid one way. Solid one way. Good choice. That worked out so well.
At this point, it's looking quite difficult. B&J with no shock darts remaining. That would be absolute money.
They're saving.
If he had some of those.
Well done.
But they're going to give it up.
Mazino's still holding towards Catwalk, though. He's looking to make it expensive. He could get some on the exit. There's the first. And there's a second.
Nice.
They did their job. They did their job. So despite losing a round, to still continue to make expensive for TL. As we said, they had pretty much a half buy coming through. They're trying to chase down the last player at the same time.
You leave it there for a midnight snack.
Here on the defense,
nice.
4 KRÜ in a row. The economy's still looking very
not
good.
a bad idea.
Down. I'm all for that. But we mentioned it here, Dan. That blaze wall not only from the curveball coming out from
Red Bull clutch. I don't know if this really I don't know if this is considered a clutch. I mean, I consider a clutch a 1vx, but I guess a 2vx can also be a clutch, I guess. But it wasn't a 2vx, it was a 3vx. It was a 3v3. 3v3, I don't know if that's a clutch, dude, you know? That's okay. You gotta get that sponsor promo out. I get it.
Agreed.
I get it.
It has been really awesome seeing some of those coordinated movements, the pacing, the trade spacing. And once again, we're seeing Mazino with these walls.
I like to consider a clutch is when you're down numbers. That's what I like to think. But not like a 4v5, like a 2v3, 2v4.
Normally this would suggest a B split.
1v2, 1v3,
we'll see if
stuff like that.
The name of the game though here for Team Liquid.
Well, with the amount of shots that you heard with the wall coming out, the Aldron spawning
1v1.
You're forcing,
you're seeing
a rotation coming
That's
out
the best
from
one.
KRÜ at the same time. 2 mid, 2 B, but the noise starting to slow down here. You're starting to have KRÜ guessing again. You're going to have to try to wait for your recon dart to come out and try to get some information if it's going to be towards this B main inside, because B&J seems to be fully committed to hold this Odin towards this B site.
They're going to be this time. They're trying to do a split.
There you go.
They got that dart really quickly. Dude, they got everything out. This is great. They have everything. They got everything out of the way. There's no Sage slows. An Omen smoke just came up, which is really unfortunate. They had a window there. They had a 5-second window there where they burned everything. And they're not even doing it. They're canceling.
We still have NagZ still in position on A main with the operator. This is a great angle. Oh, it's the perfect angle there for NagZ. Nailing Link as well.
That sucks.
2 kills. Might be more here. They're going to feed straight into
that
it.
sucks,
There's
man.
nothing else that they can do. NagZ's done everything.
They had the perfect window. They had a 5-second window where everything was down. No Omen smokes. No slows. No recon.
I'm all
nothing.
Here for it, Dad. I'm loving it so far.
No flashes, nothing. They had a window. I don't know if they knew that they had that window, but they had it. That's a bummer to see.
Positioning shots, they still invested in Klaus's Killjoy ult just to try to make sure that they could secure the round. Thankfully, though, we have them dominating this defender side so far too. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see another Killjoy ult sword maybe by the end of the half. But this is
you can't know Omen smoke CD. Absolute what?
This is twice that the run it back.
How dare you just say that? Of course you can. That's why communication is so important. I know this is something that you might not think about, but at a top level, at a professional level, when you are a player. Here, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little secret hint here, okay? When you are a player at a professional level, your job is to communicate to your in-game leader everything that you see and everything that happens. Omen smoked A main. Great. One smoke's on cooldown. Okay. Omen smoked mid. Oh, shit. He doesn't have any smokes. Wow. That's crazy. You know? You feed every little bit of... Everything you see in front of you, you feed that to your IGL, and your IGL comes up with a strategy based around that. Assuming you don't have a plan ahead of time, right?
There it is.
It's just that simple, really. It's hard for the IGL, though. The IGL struggles with something like that. That's hard. That's hard to do.
Because Scream is... He's got the rifle. Great timing there from NagZ. Really looking comfortable here.
Dude, he is owning with this off. Let's go.
From NagZ.
And you just see how he doesn't care. Like the game sets for NagZ so far under a high pressure matchup. Because think about it.
Yeah, if you don't tell your IGL anything,
so
he won't.
Is high right now
if you don't have a plan and you're kind of defaulting, and you don't have like an end game kind of situation plan, you're kind of like feeling it out, and you don't tell your IGL anything, your IGL will never be able to come up with a plan.
And then he positions himself for a perfect kill onto Link right after like that. It's just really nice to watch. Like, look at how they're cheering each other up at the same time too. That confidence is definitely reigning in here for KRÜ Esports.
Yeah, it's huge. Liquid do look very stuck at the moment, that's for sure on this half.
Dude, Sean was so good at that.
See if they can get themselves a couple extra rounds here.
One thing I will just always say, is Sean
able to deal with the drone.
Was literally the best IGL. Just period.
Good to see that.
I'll be honest.
Not only has
just period.
Mazino with the Sage
Amazing.
And the utility that's offered up with Sage, be moving around in these defensive setups round to round. Also, of course, with the operator, NagZ gets to do the same thing. So there's a lot to worry about for Liquid, and they're going to just explode onto the B site by the looks of things. And NagZ is repositioned here again if they contact into this. Oh, they're going to use the paranoia, of course, and there's the punish.
Huge.
With Jamppi with the dash, but the trade straight back in there from Klaus. 1 for 1, and it looks like Liquid once again.
Oh,
in this choke point.
That's nice. He got away with 1 before he went down. Oh my God.
Odin is looking very dangerous here from B&J. The spray is wild there. Commits all the way. You got to respect it. But it's not going to work out for KRÜ. Oh my goodness.
Go Scream.
He was a little surprised once the dark cover dissipated, and it's like, oh, I just realized I'm a little bit off here on my frag or on my spray with the Odin. He got punished with that for sure. And I was going to say, Scream, after getting that kill, it looks like he wasn't getting enough value off the run it back, but you could already see that off that kill, he already built another run it back after picking up the orb. So I think he's still doing a very good job being able to get a couple of support kills, entry kills, but still trying to create that space when I run it back. That's where it's not necessarily lacking.
If Team Liquid could get one more round, that is a solid half. But I don't remember, did they win pistol?
Last round to go,
I don't think they did.
Jamppi, maybe he's going to pick up this Blade Storm. He will. And the 5 players we're looking for.
Actually, I missed pistol. I was AFK.
Towards this A side, as they have a lot of ultimates to work with for the attack here of Team Liquid.
Yeah, they're really going for this just contact burst style and keeping things simple here. There goes the drone, the wall as well. The run it back is popped as well.
Cancelled right away.
Back is gone again immediately, but there goes Jamppi now with the Blade Storm. Oh, he's gonna whip that one. Klaus with the punish. Scream trading things through, and it's looking pretty crazy right now. KRÜ, though, looking pretty good on this. Still, the spike has to be planted here for Link, and beautiful fragging there from Link. Oh my goodness, from strength to strength.
All right, not bad. Not bad.
And Team Liquid,
oh, they won pistol and they won the first. Okay. They didn't win first gun round, though. They didn't win the bonus.
The last couple rounds,
but
making it a 5-7 finish. That's not bad at all.
7-5 is definitely not bad.
The advantage of taking the defender side
Winning
too.
pistol, you'd hope for at
to
least a
get little bit more
6-6.
even, depending on the playstyle,
You know,
too, right?
but
you
that's
really
right.
have to think about playstyle and compositions that sees a little bit more attacker, maybe attacker-sided rounds or defender-sided halves. But at this point, I think for TL, they're definitely comfortable here playing the defender side of this map, of this very own map pick, and to be able to scrape those last 2 rounds, and also to make it 5-7 overall, I think you come out pretty happy with the first half. It looked pretty dire. It didn't look like they were able to do much here with Scream's entries, but following that, it still has been pretty good for Team Liquid when they actually make it into the site for these pulse plants.
Into the pistol we go, and Liquid with a similar approach and just holding onto the tree position on their defense right now, and they have 2 players forward and B main also, so just mostly giving up space towards mid, which is where KRÜ actually are.
This is
Raid boss again from Jamppi. So Frenzy,
no.
shields doubling up.
KRÜ doesn't know what they're falling into right now.
From Scream.
Oh wow, that was.
Here come the trace into the sights. Oh, it's looking good for KRÜ. 3 kills straight away for them.
That guy got owned.
Spike planted as well. This will be tough for soulcas.
Like I got
owned. Players are quite weak for KRÜ.
What the heck happened to him? He died so fast that I barely got to see what happened.
There goes that recon for soulcas. Immediately dealt with.
Okay. I guess KRÜ is just better gamers,
And
apparently.
it's looking
That was
quite difficult
insane.
here. You know, soulcas, you can see he's worried about that push from A main. There's so many things to worry about. They're going to try to clear one position at a time together.
Oh, what a good call by this guy,
Exactly
dude.
the correct move.
B&J just
Making them
running.
as far as possible. And now it's
Making them work for it.
Surely not both.
Well
of them.
done.
Indeed, Link's going to take him out.
And I'm okay with this is smart, because I was just saying, you don't have to chase him down. Right now, you could potentially give more money, more orbs for Link. At the same time, just let him die with the spike, just so that you don't give him the opportunity of getting from the shadows for information a lot faster here on the defender side. But this was actually a very nice run by.
Oh, that's what happened to him. Oh my God.
Because you see,
he got hit with the right click. Insta dead.
I think I would assume that they poked and dropped the owl drone from soulcas quite early into the round to allow for them to surprise the 2 defenders inside B main by rushing into the market after the wall. So KRÜ playing it slowly into this into that round to eventually burst into the site has caught TL by surprise.
Oh, hello. Klaus wins the battle there in B main.
They actually bought this round.
That's a
TL
huge
did.
early victory.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
On another force by mine, you hear Dan.
I feel like you being on this defense.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting here. To see
I don't know. Get your rifles.
And deal with the situation. You can see them rotating.
A sense of pretty.
Kryptix.
It's not like a.
Across
I don't know, it's not like a bind.
More towards the A side of the map here.
It's got some range to it. It's got some depth.
Jamppi, very strong defense possible here on Catwalk with this judge.
See what happens.
And it looks like KRÜ are going to be moving straight into this.
Caution here.
At least I think it's all going to be towards A main. I think understanding that it's dangerous, that they could potentially play against shotguns into this round, especially after they won that 1v1 in the beginning of the round, and seeing that there was a Spectre invested, going all into A main is so smart.
NagZ straight on top of Gen. Love to see it. Team Liquid struggling here to get the kills that they want. In fact, everybody's still standing for KRÜ at the moment. Jamppi with the judge.
Spike planted.
Well, absolutely denied by that door.
And there you go. You're forced to try to retake with a judge at long range, or you have to dash into the site to make things expensive. You've invested a lot into this round, and he's even invested into small shields. So for Jamppi, if he could try to come out of it unscathed, it would be nice. But he's just going to die. A flawless from Prime Gaming.
Yeah, fantastic round from KRÜ. As you say, you know, they did a good job actually resetting into that A main push.
A flawless from Prime
Gaming. It is really
Gaming.
scary because, you know, they cut noise and they lost.
They
a lot of
definitely have
information
to say that.
So
and it makes it that much
really
funnier.
say
I don't know why.
What was actually doing with their weapons, but they managed to avoid all of the dangers, and they're 9-5 right now. That's awesome to see. KRÜ looking good.
100%.
And we get the half buy from Team Liquids. Kryptix on the Nova. The Nova? Oh dear.
Listen, I said counter at the same point too, Dan. I think we're just rubbing off each other at this point. So yeah, the Bucky coming out from Kryptix. I mean, it's not too bad. You're buying the Bucky.
This is why I don't like this purchase. I don't know.
Be okay to buy into the
now they're on like a scuffed buy. KRÜ's gonna get their 10th round, and they're still on these bonus guns. That means if they take this round, if KRÜ takes this round away with, you know, a close to flawless 4, maybe 4 alive, 3 alive, whatever, they're gonna have so much money
for KRÜ Esports on this map.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah, and I would always be I think the advice that I think is always valuable in spots like this for KRÜ is like, you know, what is the scenario in which we give up our lead? You know, really is allowing there to be kills early on from Team Liquid with these sheriffs, but nothing's really been given by KRÜ. They have fired a shot. That's a good sign. That KRÜ are doing what they need to be doing here.
Nobody does the Grim Walls. It's crazy.
Now they're trying to just barrel into the B side altogether. Really
the Grim Walls are so good, and nobody does them.
Kryptix there at the back with the Bucky, able to find one, gets a lot of damage, but just the 1 kill. Spike goes down, and that spells trouble here for Liquids. It's going to be hard to retake with these sheriffs.
Yeah, and they're all turned up inside the site as well. And this, I'm okay with it as well if Liquid wants to let them die and go for exits. But for KRÜ, I don't mind them dying too because it's a bonus round for them.
Uh-oh, the paranoia comes through. Oh, the hot hands as well. BNJ able to... But the headshots coming through from the sheriffs.
They got obliterated. All right.
The timing on that one from Liquid was incredible.
All right.
They're definitely gonna...
I didn't even get to see any of that. I got the wrong POV. I got the loser POV.
Exactly. Each landed the first bullet.
I literally got the loser POV. We didn't get to see it.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because the timing of usually when you shoot a sheriff, it's pop, pop, pop.
Oh my god.
You look at this,
okay, that's huge.
Pop, pop, pop on 3 different names. And
huge.
3 different kills. Exactly the right timing of landing 1 sheriff shots every single time. The 1 taps coming out from Blink Jamppi. That was just so clean.
What a fortunate round for them.
And they actually managed to secure the round.
But we take those.
That's a heartbreaker round for KRÜ Esports.
Oh, it felt like they did so many things right there. You just can't account for those kinds of rounds. You just got to hold your hands up and you just got to take those sometimes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It is what it is. Get straight back on the horse. And right now, KRÜ moving pretty fast actually up middle.
Yeah. And the buy's still low, though, for Liquid, despite them winning that on sheriffs only, right? So you see how much was invested into that second round for the defender side.
And the spike did go down at least, so that's some extra cash that went the way of KRÜ.
Whatever KRÜ's scheming here, it's not
into just cut noise.
It's not going to work
in mid. They dealt with
because
some utility. They also
it kind of looks like they're trying to split B, but
they just hold.
He has B main. He has B main. He has it.
Some pretty good positioning for Team Liquid.
So he's going to take this duel.
Dash away if he misses. They have Link inside 1. If you're looking at that mini map, they're in good position.
Good play by Sova to get him off.
That's a great way to start things off to push him back.
Man, they're
straight into a fast maneuver
rotating
through catwalk towards the A side. Liquid
Why did Liquid rotate? There was nothing. That was way too fast of a rotate. Good delay though.
To make matters worse,
the slow.
There's just so much delay coming through here.
Oh, they are so
stuck.
They
don't have time for this.
They are so stuck, dude.
To try to find a way onto the site, trying to clear some kind of a path. The curveballs come in. It seems like Liquid have so much utility here. 10 seconds to plant the spike. Time is a problem right now. KRÜ are still trying to get their way onto the site. soulcas denies the spike plant. A second kill.
My God.
Every kill there from Liquid right at the end.
And that's where, Dan, it shows where it's a series of unfortunate events, because that slow orb that was thrown and that slowed them down was actually from their own teammate. Because they thought a push was going to come in from Garden, they had everything set up to get into the doorway, into the A site. But now, time is of the essence. Time is against you. A hot hands gets thrown on the ground. A paranoia came also from A main. They're like, oh crap, it's a crossfire set up into the A site. Can we go through heaven? No, unfortunately we can't, because we slowed ourselves down. We also allowed for TL to actually get the rotate over from the spawn side in from B. And this is a crucial
the money is starting for Team Liquid.
For KRÜ Esports.
The money is starting to roll in.
On 2 consecutive
they win this round convincingly. They're in a pretty decent spot.
economy for Team Liquid, and it's still converted into round wins. And you're catching up right now on your defender side for Team Liquid, taking the, like I said, the easier side right now for Team Liquid's map. KRÜ needs to figure something out right now.
Yeah, they definitely do. And, you know, Liquid, at the same time, you know, I'm curious, you know, if they're going to try to mix things up here, because oftentimes when you expect a team, you know, taking a tactical, you're thinking, okay, they're going to change something. You can decide to go really aggressive just to really just take the initiative. So if they had a plan, you kind of just blow it up right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that's something that we actually saw Liquid doing on Split. They did that with an A main aggression later into that one after a tactical.
It's so hard in games like this
Maybe
to
do
be
that same thing again. We'll have to see.
To be everywhere, because you kind of have to be.
And Sliggy
you have to
like evil Sliggy, like a Sith Lord.
You have to have B main presence. You have to have A main presence.
Like, did he die
sometimes mid, and then it's really, really hard to not make it obvious when you are deciding to give up the B main presence or give up the A main presence.
So we're about to resume the round number 17.
So hard to not be obvious.
Right now, trying to get control towards A main and try to give this orb from Mazino is already going to be a great start, so that he could potentially have a res into the next round when they have the ultimates to work with. So try to waste out the utility, try to pull them back right now for Team Liquid to turtle back into the site, get this orb, and then figure out what you want to do. And actually, it's invested into, screw it, let's just go with the Hunter's Fury and Bladestorm and immediately go and take the offensive right away off this timeout.
Oh my god. Scream very confident
Weird.
there. NagZ is missing those knives, unfortunately. That right click, that's what he needed to land. And that's the most dangerous player out of the round, effectively.
Yep. Just off straight utility, right? It was a Bladestorm that was there, and whoop, okay. The Frenzy's gonna help a bit.
Holy, he almost killed him.
Oh, wow, he actually dinked up Link as well. But yes, it is.
They kind of wasted that Sova ult. And I know that might not seem like a big deal, but think about it like this.
Going there with 180 there. And there we go.
If Kryptix gets like an orb and a kill,
close the gap,
or 2 kills, whatever, he gets his ult. Or
this is what the tactical was really was.
He'll get his ult next round or something, right? Like he will get his ult before Sova.
Right now.
And now there's no Sova counter to it, so it kind of. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that decision. Not a fan.
For KRÜ Esports, but a right click, it didn't connect onto Scream. But you're looking at this round right now, we're still 2 away from getting an ult for soulcas, which will be a perfect moment for Klaus to actually use his lockdown and enable KRÜ to get into his site.
KRÜ needs to use their lockdown this round. They need to. They need whatever they're doing. It needs to be a lockdown. It has to be used in some way. Because soulcas is gonna have his ult next round, and that's the problem.
Now for Mazino, he needed that 1 point. Now there is the Resurrect online as well.
Maybe he's going to have it next round. Maybe. There's a chance he does it, but you don't want to play that chance game.
A so far. Definitely suggesting to Liquid that there's something going on there. Liquid actually might be going for a play here. Yeah, they've got the drone. They are just retaking the A main position. Great maneuver. This is going to have Liquid an advantage on information now. They're going to know exactly what's going on.
They could even start rotating back right away. You can see it right now. They want to make sure they get that res. So that
like I said, you can't make it obvious.
For KRÜ, they could res up at the same
it's going to be obvious. They know they're going to do a lockdown play. But
at the same time too.
They have to. They have to do this. They have to.
Right off the
it's obvious, but they have to.
There's for Team Liquid.
They can't wait. It needs to be done this round.
Waiting patiently here for go time. That lockdown expires. Now Liquid trying to see if they can slow this one down into the sites. Huge flank coming through as well from Jamppi through to B main. There is a turret that's been smoked there, so...
Oh boy, big retake.
All onto Liquid, trying to coordinate their efforts there. They've got a few points of attack. Market, spawn, and soon to be B main as well.
I like this. They're all over the place. This is nice.
It's got to be off screen. Once again,
they're not just all sitting in sight. They're kind of like
comes out at the same time too.
At off angles and different angles. Or
you called it, and are they able to trade off of
what?
that? Looks like they will. 2 kills going
That
away
doesn't
with
make
Liquid.
sense.
Mazino able to trade 1 back though, as will be NJ. So it's pretty even here. The spike still ticking away. Jamppi finally activated in B main as he tries to swing on through. And it's up to Mazino now, swinging across. Jamppi's there, and Jamppi will take him down. And there's just enough time to get this defuse in.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so close though. Oh, so close. Liquid,
so many little micro
and they tie up
plays.
the score 9-9.
That
and again, if you are just joining
little,
us here, this lower bracket match,
teeny
KRÜ
tiny little
for their tournament life.
bitty
lost the first match.
decisions.
They got absolutely crushed on split.
Like, I know this doesn't seem that big, but Killjoy right here taking this duel.
Game here so far, but it is
Think about it this way, right? This duel right here that Killjoy took.
Yeah.
Killjoy knew that somebody was flanking A main. And if she just tried her absolute best to like tuck herself
for the attackers on KRÜ Esports
to make
in a 2v1,
as much time wasted as possible,
where he could actually assist for maybe a bait
that could have been the 1 second difference.
Because they had time in their favor.
You know, like just try to just go wide, wide enough so you can hide from A main, so he has to peek further out, but not too wide so that you die from spawn, because that would suck, right?
It's going to be KRÜ Esports looking to explode into the A site.
So tough. It's so tough. Those are such tough decisions to make in the moment. They are so hard to make in the moment.
Amazing stuff here so far from Liquid, deflecting this attack. Scream is tapping the heads. That's what he does. That's who he is. And that's Liquid with the 10th round now on the board as they deflect that contact through that smoke. I love the mix-up from KRÜ, but Liquid was somehow so ready for it.
Yeah, I think now the story falls back in the hands of Team Liquid. As much as I wanted to commend KRÜ Esports of how they were so good at reading Team Liquid on the attack, this was perfect for the same thing for Team Liquid in the end. To have that 2 players set up towards that A site, a perfect crossfire. I know they were able to hit Scream towards that backup generator, and while he's affected by that paranoia, to have Link get the first few kills, have the opponents focus on Link after on the kill, and then Scream comes out right after when he's not blinded. This is just some nice back and forth in terms of supporting teammates into the A site here for Team Liquid. So now they regain the lead off this half, off this series at the same time.
Those are like the hardest.
At least they
just thinking about like that moment, right? That's like
into this round, because
I would say that's like the hardest thing about being a professional player. Like if you had to have any,
and you can see the
like what's tough
here. Scream hanging on.
is those tiny little decisions,
fantastic shooting,
and making them on the fly. And making the right ones. So challenging.
Scream, of course.
Because there's like a million things you could do.
Early win.
You got to choose the best one
down there to
out of
any
so many possibilities.
So that's a huge
tough.
win from KRÜ.
Really
Not
tough.
only getting the kill, but also forcing out the lockdown.
That's right. And you're hiding away from the Owl drone, and now they have no information from Team Liquid. So with 1 player behind, somebody's going to have to force a hand. It's going to have to be potentially Jamppi peeking out on this catwalk or playing it close. If not, it's just going to be very hard for the defenders to hold and even to retake after that. And it seems to be the latter. They're going to force the hand right now for the attackers into the site, but these nanoswarms are going to be huge.
Oh no.
Please tell me he didn't have a shock dart.
Fantastic job to
because
deny this one. Klaus is on another
that's
level,
all he needed. He needed 1 shock dart right in the center there. He knew it was there. You could tell he knew you could tell he knew it was there. Because he shot at the floor, but he just needed 1 shock dart. I don't know if he had it.
Klaus again is having such an incredible game. What a display of skill so far.
I can't believe they won this round.
The next challenge here,
I can't believe.
Looking for the
oh my God. Never mind.
Incredible there from Link.
He used both on the bot.
Liquid again.
Got it.
Picking up another round. I cannot believe that Link just did that.
So many praises.
He wasted both. Oh, he tried to break them earlier. He just didn't know where they were.
Liquid, looking through the qualifiers to help TL qualify into the Masters 2. The Red Bull clutch coming on his side. The Red Bull clutch is that he's done, and he continues to demonstrate that in this event. And like I said, it was going to be a very impossible or a much harder task for this retake.
I can't believe they brought it down to a 2v1 in the first place. The fact that they brought it to a 2v1 is crazy in itself.
So as KRÜ Esports are running their pistol round on a 5 versus 2 inside the site, it still comes down to like great and better positioning for the pulse plant for the attacker side, and Link just did a great job to negate a 2 versus 1 swing and take the advantage off 2 individual 1 versus 1s.
Yeah, early presence and control from Liquid here on A main, and they now feel the presence towards catwalk. Jamppi, though, is in a great position. There is definitely a world here where he does not get flashed or anything, gets just a straight-up peek from an opponent, and that would be a decisive...
Killjoy's... I don't know. This is tough. Nothing KRÜ's doing is working.
For something here. Oh,
that works.
God, NagZ's ready for it.
Twice he does that.
I was thinking like soulcas is saving his ult for when Klaus gets his.
Gelato into top mid to get that information, and KRÜ, they are long gone. They are long gone. And here goes Kryptix, able to find the spike. The second kill comes his way. That's not a bad result.
Oh my. Oh no.
soulcas able to find that one. That's a huge, huge pickup.
Yeah, and that's spiked down at the same time, too.
Oh, no.
Still the Killjoy utility on the B side. This is such a great hold for
This hurts, man.
Beautiful finish there from soulcas.
I feel for these guys, man.
Game point now for Team
When you're
Liquid.
just trying, you're trying everything.
Really
You're trying it all,
KRÜ
but you
had
just
done a
can't.
lot
Can't get it done.
That extra kill
Even when you get a first blood, man, you just can't get it done.
Losing the spike
That hurts.
in a position such as market. Just
That sucks.
these small edges that Liquid are winning are really making all the difference.
That 2K was huge. This kill through the smoke was huge.
To force the hand and let Team Liquid know, let's get ready. The hit's gonna come.
That bomb, the bomb being left in
B-side,
market,
also you're not
because
ready
like they just didn't have
for KRÜ
time.
Esports
He was the only
running
one.
back,
Is huge.
then
Like
you kind of just want to run away from that one too. So it's nice that Scream just off that funneled everybody back towards a heavy defense. And that starts things off very well to win the series for Team Liquid.
Instant res coming through though for KRÜ. That does at least even things up, and strangely that does give advantage to KRÜ. But Link, if he finds the timing on this peak and gets a kill and gets away with it, that would be an enormous problem for KRÜ.
Yeah.
Will they be cognizant of this angle from Link? Trying to play an off angle here, trying to be unexpected with his peak. And just Link seeing nothing also tells Liquid a huge amount as to what KRÜ are doing.
And you're just walking back potentially to a heavy nanoswarm setup off the sidewalk from Kryptix. This has been a thorn in the side of KRÜ Esports.
Here comes the ult.
Whenever they're hitting towards this B side, you don't see them dashing, or, well, they can't dash right now as NagZ's dead. But with them trying to get across towards the switch onto the staircase, just going through the sidewalk has been damaging for them so far.
Wait, he missed. Oh my god, he missed the ult. Oh no, that Killjoy's detained. They're both detained. Oh no, Liquid. Oh no, no.
Kryptix backside, can he get out of this in time? Are they going to find him? Yes, they'll get him. They won't take down Jamppi, but with that detain, they have the site under control. B&J in a critically important position. Jamppi
doesn't matter, they still won. They won the game. Doesn't matter.
Straight in the face.
Holy.
Goes down. Jamppi
That got scary for a second. That got scary for a second. They missed the ult.
A 2-0 victory against KRÜ, eliminating them here from this tournament, from Masters to Reykjavík. And Liquid, as expected, will be moving forward.
Well, was it that expected at the same time here, Dan? Because when you looked at how that played on that second map, it looks so promising for KRÜ to bring it back. Even Kryptix is saying almost at that point. What I'm guessing is that
what does the timeline look like here?
But yes,
who's playing who?
For B&J and
tomorrow,
Esports, they are
version 1
away,
Fnatic, Vikings,
but you could
Team Liquid.
Out of the stage.
Is that a rematch?
They brought
No.
it to
No, that's not a rematch.
Team Liquid on that second map, when it looked like it was going to be Team Liquid all the way. And the chances of KRÜ, unfortunately, trying to bring this to a third map, unfortunately falls. And maybe it is that in the end, once you found your footing here on the defender side here, Dan,
Sentinels plays tomorrow, right? Yeah, Sentinels new turn. This is the match to watch. There's two matches to... Honestly, all three of these matches tomorrow are going to be fantastic. Version 1 Fnatic, Vikings Liquid,